We're chillin' in the cool of the day. Call me the damn neighborhood watch. Yeah, what's going on, everybody? What's up? I want to tap in and talk about, god damn it. Man, what did that ring have to go on? Anyways, yeah. I want to tap in and talk about a multitude of things, specifically things that have to do with our traumatized parents. You know, traumatized parents, especially if you're born to like a traumatized parent, or obviously both of them, duh, because you gotta have two parents and shit like that, duh. So it's like, a lot of the times when you're the child of these people, especially in these times, a lot of the times you're actually born to kind of like become aware of these traumas that they haven't dealt with, because whether we like it or not, these things are going to be passed on to us, and they're going to give us these things whether we like it or not, because literally that's how their brain is wired, and literally that's literally the energies that's flowing through them. So if your parents have some self-hatred, or your parents have like some self-doubt or some fear, they're going to automatically pass that on to you whether they know it or not. And chances are they know it, but it just seems like such a normal pattern to them, to the point that they will just pass it on, although it's actually negative, right? So it's literally like just them sitting back, trauma dumping their problems onto you as if you even did anything, right? A lot of the times, even like parents could have kids that they didn't even want and manifest kids as responsibilities and put that responsibility on the child, that their responsibility that they didn't want. But it's like, you're a parent, you had that kid, so it's like, take care of your fucking kids. It's like, be a responsible fucking parent and shit like that, right? So it's like, a lot of the times, spirits that are older than their parents, because we accumulated like more life experiences, God may put us in like situations and circumstances where we're born into like families and certain like, it's not because like God is punishing us or anything like that. It's not like that. A lot of the times we just are still resonating with these things on some type of degree and shit like that. And since we're in the information age, we're able to gather information to a much more faster degree, which actually makes us kind of like smarter spirits as far as how we engaged with our incarnation processes and shit like that. Because we actually picked a time where we can become more aware, kind of like have more information and stuff like that. Create soul groups, soul tribes, find people that resonate with our life experiences, so we can see, oh shit, you know what, we're not the only people going through these life experiences. So we're sitting back like, damn, so you know what, this is actually a universal experience. And you know, when you're the person that's supposed to break that generational curse, just understand that when you break that generational curse, well, it just really is basically a bunch of trauma, a bunch of negative energy that hasn't been processed and shit like that. That's gonna probably irritate the fuck out of your parent too and shit like that, right? Because they expect you to sit back and play out some type of template, some type of idea, because they literally believe like you're actually theirs. You can have like such a narcissistic fucking parent that they literally think you belong to them, your life is theirs. Man, you can have a narcissistic ass fucking mother. She might believe that your life literally belongs to her and you're supposed to sacrifice your life for her because she did a bunch of shit for you. So it's like, people sit back, have kids, and think like their kids owe them, their kids, like, I understand the duty of the child to the parent, because believe me, I always honor my parents no matter what, and I dealt with a lot of these traumas that my parents passed on to me. But a lot of the times, like, we gotta hold our parents accountable as well, and let them know, like, yo, you got a lot of traumas, you got a lot of problems, you're fucked up in the head. That's why you kind of fucked me up in the head, and I need you to take some type of accountability and responsibility. Now, as far as like, oh, you owe me something, no, I need you to keep that negative energy you got in check, or actually, even better, process those negative experiences that you got inside of you, so you can actually begin to, you know, resonate with some different shit. It's actually more positive for the people around you and shit like that, right? But a lot of the times, our parents, they're not even gonna be able to get out of that shit. It's like almost impossible, pretty much. Like, you gotta really go through a bunch of negative experiences to decide like that, god damn it, finally, I don't want to keep reduplicating this experience and shit, so let me just get out of this emotion, let me get out of this thought, let me get out of this limitation that I'm in, because whatever limitation that is, it's not going to allow us to expand our reality beyond the parameter, or beyond just the mind frame or the self-image or the self-concept that was taught to us by our parent and handed down to us and shit like that, right? So a lot of times we gotta detach from all these different thoughts and feelings, and these things play out as like build-ups and shit like that. And since our subconscious is so like, I don't want to say like your subconscious is so deep and your conscious is kind of like the surface level, it is kind of like that, but it's just that the wiring itself of that trauma, whether it comes in an emotional form, whether it's more like a fiery form, because you know, when we're dealing with elementals, when we're dealing with these mental forms, they manifest in these different let's just say these different elementals and shit like that, and you can literally feel like your own feelings are gaslighting you. Like this emotion, that this response of fear that we have is not really like a productive way to deal with fear. Like the response of fear that most people have makes them run away from their problems rather than actually jump into that situation and just allow their mind to just calculate a new way to deal with that. You know what I mean? Like, because a lot of people run from these new stimuluses and shit like that. Like a lot of people don't want to talk to their parents about whatever bullshit they be into just based upon like them being scared of that experience. Oh, this is my parent, this is the authority figure. No, if you're a spirit on earth and you're probably born after your parents, I mean, duh. If you're born after your parent, duh. In these times and shit, like, you gotta know, like, you're probably the bigger spirit, and God is probably gonna want to look at you in some type of way, take that shit and transmute that. And you know, whenever you transmute that generational trauma, that becomes like, because whatever, as much as darkness people got, that's also as much as light as they got. Because like darkness is nothing but what? A group of lights that's just mixed in together. Because black is what? Yellow, red, green, blue, magenta, cyan, goddamn it, all those colors together, right? So it's like we have this body and we're kind of like mentally in darkness. And I say that because a lot of the times that this darkness may limit us from living out certain experiences that we see other people experiencing, but we may look at ourselves. I know I looked at myself a lot of times like, oh man, you know what? To have that, I must be inadequate. Or you know what? I'm not good enough. Because you know who made me feel that way? My fucking parents made me feel that way. And I have to sit back and ask, well, if that's my parent and they truly care for me, goddammit, why did they even sit back and throw those generational curses on me? But then I have to sit back and realize that, goddammit, my parents, they was traumatized by their parents, and they didn't know any better. They thought this shit was normal. So just as much that I was running away from all the religious bullshit, just as much as running away from all the workplaces, I realized that damn, my parent was doing that too. Like my parent, they was trying to run away from that trauma. But a lot of the times that trauma could surround them, could trap them, it could seem normal to them, so they just start playing it out in their lives too, and they don't question it. Like if everyone around you is retarded, obviously you're just going to become retarded too and call it normal. And now this mental retardedness, this mental illness looks like being extremely religious, being a religious zealot and shit like that, or just being like extremely overly left brain and logical. You think things should be practical and blah blah blah. You got no emotional intelligence, so when you speak to your children, you might speak to them in such a way where you actually inspire like spite and hatred in the long term, because like it's like an in conjunction in astrology. It's like a lack of balance. It's like you're not creating balance in that situation. You might be creating like opposition, like creating like a situation where you might appear like a Satan, which is basically just a devil, kind of someone who's opposing your child for no reason. Why you really should be the one who's nurturing and growing your child and allowing them to actually expand into their gifts and talents and play those things out. Not because you're an overly logical parent and your child is creative, you're gonna sit back and force your kid, hey, sit there, be logical, go read this book, live your life like how I lived my life. A lot of these parents just be like narcissistic and shit like that. So from my experience, you can't be scared of that shit. Like you gotta fucking let them know straight up, like you're not doing none of that crap. A lot of the times, it doesn't even have to be like for me personally, when I started, it was kind of rebellious. Like my mom would sit back and be like, oh, you're the devil, oh, you're a demon child, like dumbass shit like that, just because like I didn't want to pray, I didn't want to like just do shit like Muslims was doing every day, because that shit was fucking boring. That shit was not my spirituality. I felt like that shit was fucking slavery and shit like that, right? So like I had to go through all these negative experiences, all these negative projections from my parents telling me X, Y, and Z and shit. And like once I went through all that and expanded my awareness, and then I came back to them, and then I dropped my fucking knowledge, I dropped my fucking nuts on them multiple times. Guess what? They started understanding what I'm saying. I became the expansive one. I became the one who actually helped them understand what the fuck their Quran, what the fuck their Islam is talking about. God damn it, lost in someone else's words and shit like that, right? So don't ever get it twisted. It's all about your belief. It's all about what you have faith in. And it's all about what you put imagination in. Because most kids my age, most Muslim kids would just sit back and be like, yeah, I gotta follow my I'm not saying don't honor your parent, but what I'm saying, honor your fucking self. Like you're you're a spirit inside of a body too. You're here to experience. You're here to expand. You're here to become more aware of new things. Like even my dad low key don't follow Islam like that. I'm telling you, the shit that he be saying, it be sounding like he want to be like a Western man instead of an Eastern man, because he basically saying, God damn it, my experiences are so limited in this fucking religion. I want to have some new experiences. I'm tired of this shit. Like, your spirit, if you're religious, it's gonna get tired of going to that fucking church. It's gonna get tired of getting on that goddamn it prayer carpet mosque and shit like that. Eventually, your mind's gonna create some type of situation to destroy all that shit, so you can actually go expand yourself and become aware of some new shit and shit like that, right? So yeah, a lot of times our parents just have like traumas that has been passed down to them. Fortunately or unfortunately, we gotta become the ones that are smarter than them and teach them about the shit that they was lost in, and teach ourselves at the same time. But at the end of the day, you're not doing it for them, you're doing it for yourself. Because at the end of the day, you're not forgiving them for them, you're forgiving them for yourself. Because you don't deserve to, like, I know I didn't deserve to sit there and think about how much I hate my dad, how much I hate my mom because of the shit they said to me, because of the shit they did to me. I could stay in that space very well, but I know that space is not positively influencing my life. I know that space is negatively influencing my life. Like, bro, shit was crazy in this motherfucker. But yeah, man, that's just a real quick spiritual rant, spiritual talk about traumas and shit like that. Hope that helped somebody out there. And yeah, I got some artwork right now I'm working on. So yeah, peace out, everybody. Take care of your traumas, heal from them. Because at the end of the day, man, it's not for your parents, it's for you. And they're going to look at you and be like, damn, what is he doing? He must be doing something real. Because at the end of the day, they're going to see you with all this energy. They're going to see you with all this light around you. So they're going to be like, he must be doing something right. So they're going to ask you questions. So it's like, they're going to have no other thing other than to say, like, God damn it, my child is a child of God. My child is a child of God. Real stuff. Take care, everybody. Peace out.